lot of people are looking at Gervonta Davis sideways. They say that he ain't got that same energy, you know? And people want to know, well, what do I think about Gervonta Davis? Always have something to say about Devin Haney. Quick to jump out the window on Floyd Mayweather. Quick to check people on the internet and Mr. Twitter fingers and all that in the nine. But when it comes to Riley Garcia being disrespectful to him, racially disrespectful to not just him, but him, his people, and everybody else, he never has something to say. How does that look? It looks like to me what it always is. You know? And yes, it just don't look soft. You're going to have to call it what it is. It's a form of cooning. And yes, y'all going to have to wear that. Y'all going to have to accept that it is what it is at the end of the day. You know? And if I'm being consistent, I've burned Shakur for less. For less. Okay? What Tank did is actually worse than what I seen something Shakur has done. It's in the same boat though. But I had to put Tank in the same category that I put Shakur in. I don't operate or I don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? They can go ahead, but it can be without my support. Because once again, everybody knows I like Tank. Everybody knows I support the hell out of Tank. Tank's my guy. You know what I'm saying? But I've had to turn a blind eye to too many things about Tank. And I'm not going to make that a habit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what fanboys start doing. They don't want to notice things about their favorite fighter. You know? But Tank, to have all that energy for black dudes and don't got that energy at a time when you supposed to have that kind of energy. And you supposed to be a street dude, Mr. Tough, Mr. I'm not from the suburbs, Mr. Hood, Mr. all that. But when it comes time for that stuff to be displayed, that bark is nowhere in sight. But every time, you know what I'm saying, somebody else that look like you, got something to say, you up here showing your teeth and pounding your chest. Yeah, man, that's coon work right there. It ain't no way of getting around it. I like Tank too, but it is what it is. Now, is you a man or is you a fan of man? Because that's just the truth right there. Okay, the boy wasn't raised right. Something's wrong with him. Not all the money in the world shouldn't get you that fuzzy brain to where you don't react or stand up for yourself in any type of way. You know, but flip side, what y'all got to understand is it's two things. Number one, I always study us in this situation because it's a lot of ankle touchers, you know, and the reason why people ankle touch is because telling the truth or even defending somebody that looks like you, even if it is yourself, has a possibility to slow, cut off, or mess up your revenue stream. So a lot of people to help facilitate money, they don't address or go near anything racial, even if it is to defend themselves or where they come from or their people. That's one thing you need to notice about ninjas. You know what I'm saying? That's how they think. We all know what it is. Okay, so a lot of times people don't want them problems and they don't want to irritate a certain demographic, especially one that they figured out the majority of their money comes from. The reason why people can get away and say what they say, you know what I'm saying, slick stuff about black people here and there, is because they don't respect your money power. Okay? It doesn't fuel, meaning they can keep being what they're being without having to kiss your butt. But you see, the second that you offend somebody, you know what I'm saying, that has the power of how much revenue you see everybody get to apologize. That's all it is. It's a power game. Everybody get to apologize and then, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody, there's only two things in this world people respect. But everybody want to talk about Devin Haney. It's only two things that people respect. Blue and green, blood and money. The bottom line, when all comes down to it, that gets everybody attention. Blood and money. You take one of those actions, you gonna get something popping. Okay? You either gonna take it through blood or take it through money. Those are the two things that people respect the most. You know, so it's done right. But as far as Tank go, Tank is like the same way. Not only do I think he doesn't have it in him to address something like that, you know, but they're also advised not to speak on stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Once you think about it, how did Floyd go his entire career with barely even touching on the subject? Y'all notice that? He went his entire career without barely touching on the subject. And if anybody is a victim of that, you know what I'm saying, who's seen that and gone through that, it's been Floyd. But you notice that he barely talk about it, because I keep telling y'all there's taboos in boxing. That's a taboo. You're not supposed to talk about it. That's why he was very strategic not to talk about it. That's why every time Floyd got the opportunity to distance himself from us, to cling on to the rich, he has done it every single time. Okay? He has done it every single time, because a reward comes with that. The second that you start clinging to us, situations and stuff gonna start shutting down. You know what I'm saying? Just ask The Rock Johnson when he did that documentary on prison and people wrongfully of color locked up. His fan base turned on him so fast, he never did that again. You know, so it's a price to pay with aligning yourself with us or even defending yourself. And it's rewards for bending over and touching ankles. And that's just what it is, you know. And ending it, I have to say this. I've come to the realization that no matter how we feel about what a person should say and how a person should act, at the end of the day, it's on you, because these are boxers. Nothing more, nothing less. Should they speak up in certain situations? Yes. Should they do this? Should they do that? Yes. But at the end of the day, they are boxers. Okay? You can't look for them to be politicians. You can't look for them to be revolutionaries. You can't look for them to be leaders. You can't look. The only thing that you can look forward to them to do is throwing hands. That's all. Because if you look for something more than that, you're going to be sorely disappointed. And that's why they tell you don't idolize nobody and don't have any heroes. Okay? Because once they get in that spotlight of being idolized and stuff like that, they belong to the engine. You know what I'm saying? They belong to the powers that be. Because if they didn't play along with their game, they wouldn't be there in the light, you know what I'm saying, to be adored or to be admired. They are there because they can be controlled. And if you can't be controlled, you won't be there. It's just that simple. And a lot of people choose money over integrity, over pride, and over respect. Money is at people's highest of all things. Morals and how they carry themselves, that's way down on the list. You know what I'm saying? But that money come first. And as you see, the only thing you got to do is look around. Look at all the people that's bending over. You can see them now. It's kind of like you got those glasses from They Live. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of boxing fans, like y'all got those glasses on now. You can see everybody who's buck dancing, everybody who's on that bull. You can see everybody now. That's why I say it's an interesting time in boxing. And we're going to see how y'all going to move forward from here.